don't really like talking about Signgate. You know, we
Sure.
we 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 try to move on from this, but it's like the NCAA. I'm like, why won't the NCAA let us move on from this? And it's
Hmm.
because that there's a process, and they're giving out little bits and pieces. One part of the process is concluded.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is a process to an investigation in the NCAA. Now, I reached out to the NCAA for comment. They basically said here's the email. I have it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh 1 second. Actually, no, I don't want to give a name, but it says, "Thank you for reaching out about the University of Michigan. Due to confidentiality rules put in place by NCAA member schools, the NCAA does not comment on current, pending, or potential investigations." So
Hmm.
it's still happening. It's still going on. Just because nothing's happening, it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen at all. And here is the process of what. Here, let me see. Here is the dashboard for this. So here is the University of Michigan right here. Can you see this?
Hmm.
Shoot. Here's the University of Michigan. So, and as you can see, 200. So the first process, the blue, which is the resolution selection, the charging resolution selection. Uh, it took 252 of the 523 total days they had to get a resolution. So if you look at these, they each total 523 days. I'm guessing that's how much they have for each part.
Mm.
So in actuality, we may not hear about this till, like, I don't know, 2027 to 2030. I don't know.
Jeez.
But a decision could be made. I don't know, but here. So this is the last part that happened. We're at 214 to 523 total days. So resolution method approval was on 8/22/24. The final NOA was on 8/23/2024. The NOA amended was 11/13/24. And now, remember when that news came out that Michigan was going to fight? So it
Sure.
says NOA response individual 126/25, NOA response 126/25, then NOA response, another one, was 2/12/2025. And then, the panel review date communicated to parties was 2/14/25. Now, the last bit was the COI panel assignment. Now, the COI, that's the Committee for Actions panel assignment, and it says, so right here, let me share my other screen
Sure.
on with the COI panel. So, in the NCAA infractions process, a COI committee infractions panel comprised of 5 to 7 members is assigned to review and decide on cases involving alleged NCAA rules violations, determining facts, including violations, prescribing penalties. So they're at that last step. And again, they have so basically they're the ones who are, like, looking at everything, seeing what the proper punishment should be. So remember, it says 214 out of 523 total days. So I'm guessing that the total amount of days they have before a decision needs to be made
Yeah.
is 523. So they have about 286 days. Actually, no. What am I saying? They have about, God, my math is kind of messed up. They
You're
have
good.
about 309 days left.
Oh, okay. Wow.
309 days left.
Just
So,
under a year, about 10 months or so.
yeah. And so the thing is, man, like Spyro, who's been, and Buckeye Scoop, the ones who have been, following this,
Uh-huh.
they said like it could be summer or it could be, a little bit after that.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Like I don't want to get into like what could happen because that's just speculation.
Sure.
Like we're just going over that, there's a lot of Michigan fans who swear that nothing's gonna happen. Some even claim they're not even being investigated. You're literally your school's name, your program's name is literally on the dashboard. The Division 1 Infractions dashboard. What does that say? Michigan. I'm guessing this one right here is, when did Harbaugh get the penalty of the show cause? Was that at the beginning of the year?
It was right before the football season started in 2024.
Yeah, so I have no idea. Like, I mean, the decision and the reasoning is there on the NCAA site if anybody wants to see. But from what I've read, they basically determined that he led a culture of non-compliance. Does that sound familiar, Peter?
It certainly does. It certainly does. The circus was running wild here in Ann Arbor, and my goodness gracious, man. A lot of Michigan fans want to bury their heads and they want to pretend nothing's going on, but clearly there's still an investigation going on into the sign stealing.
But
And there's no denying that, clearly. We just showed you.
yeah. What I will say is I think
Yeah.
Michigan fans are downplaying it. I think some Michigan fans are downplaying it. I think some Ohio State fans are going to overkill in terms of what's going to happen. This is just my prediction.
Sure.
Okay.
I got you.
I think that, let's take some things that Michigan fans are saying. Let's take a couple things that Ohio State fans are saying. From the Michigan side, I'm going to put in a giant fine, a scholarship reductions.
Mhm.
From the Ohio State side, I'm going to put actually no, Michigan fans are also saying Sharon Moore is going to get suspended, I'm pretty sure, but I'm going to say half a season instead of a full season. From the Ohio State side, I'm going to say vacated wins and possibly a 1-year bowl ban. No, they're not getting the death penalty. If Penn State didn't get the death penalty, Michigan isn't.
No one's ever getting the death penalty again.
And to me, and I firmly believe this, do you think they can justify vacating the Natty even after the fact? The sign stealing was exposed. That they won it.
Probably not, but I guess there's a possibility, but I'd say probably not. Yeah.
Like I just I don't know about that because even after the sign stealing was exposed, they kept on winning, and which gets me to believe, and I've been saying to myself, these dudes didn't even have to cheat. They were that good. They had the right staff put in place.
They were super talented. They had the best staff in college football that season in 2023. We've said on this channel many times they had the best of the best staff, and their talent was elite, and they were close. They had a close knit bond, a close brotherhood, and that's a key factor in winning the championship as well.
Yeah, but so from what I heard is that the NCAA doesn't have the power to do that. It would be all up to the CFP.
Because the NCAA is not the one who actually sponsors the playoffs, from what I heard. Yeah,
So
from what I've read.
It'd be up to the CFP to get together and say, hey, like, is there grounds to vacate the Natty? And I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to that step.
The last thing, I think there's going to be a giant show cause for Connor Stallions. That dude is some shady. Hey, you know what? His services will be great in the NFL because it's the wild, wild west out there. But
yeah, there's not a lot of rules. Yeah, no, I think
will be no more for him.
Connor obviously has aspirations of becoming a head coach someday, perhaps becoming the head coach at Michigan is his ultimate goal. But I think they're going to make sure this dude never coaches in college football again.
I mean,
I think you're spot on.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. But for Ohio State fans to say Natty's going to be vacated, death penalty, unrealistic.
I don't
For
see that
Michigan
happening.
fans saying that there's just not going to be much happening, to little to no happening, that's unrealistic as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. So,
but yeah, you guys,
I agree.
There's a process. It's taking time. Remember, each step had a totality of 524 days to get resolved. Now, if you multiply that by 4, because there's 4 steps, and I'm just going based off like what I'm seeing. I'm just guessing that that's what that means. You have 524 days to settle this part, and it's just like we could. I mean, that's like a over 2,000 day stretch, man. That's like 4 to 5 years. You look at it.
Man, it's a long time. So we'll see when this all wraps up and unfolds. Hopefully sooner rather